Hello, everyone. Welcome to Behind the Scenes podcast, The Alchemist's Process. Who's the alchemist? I am. Who's the alchemist? You are. So, this is where I share a little bit more about my personal process. This is me time and different topics that I want to go into, but it's very much connected to my own process. And I specialize in alchemy and energy. So I create realities with my energy or with energy. And I'm here to remove all resistance from the things that I'm here to do. So I am here to, okay, so why am I doing all of these things? I don't want to feel insecure ever. I'm allergic to energetic friction. Things needs to be aligned, otherwise I get the rashes. And it's not that I need to control the external world. That's not what it's about, because that is about accepting the world as it is and changing myself. That's what I'm doing. And when I do that, I change the world. So today we're going to talk about the creative zone of genius. What is that? I have realized that is what I'm after. Creation is life. God is creation. God works through us, through the creative energy, and then the supply of that into our bodies. I had a blinking thing that I had to stop. It just kept, that's why my distraction. So I don't like that. I don't like that. So that has to go. So the energetic zone of genius, or the creative zone of genius, is an energetic expression of life and God itself. That's the way that God life source moves through us. And that is why we are called source creators and that we are God. That sounds, for some, that I am God, there's a lot of people that has things to say about that, but that's not what it is. It's God created man in likeness of himself. It's separated a part of himself. That's the soul. So the soul is a part of God. That's why the soul knows everything. And we are soul energetic spiritual beings here visiting this crazy bananas dynamic world in this physical body. So the way that life speaks through us is through the sensations of the body. So the physical human body is way more complicated and easy at the same time, but we have way more functionalities. It's like you buy a thing and that is like a computer. It's an OS. You have a computer, that's the hardware. But there's a software aspect to it that is not fully, there's no what do you call it, manual. So it's a try and learn. I'm gonna close the door here because I'm getting annoyed by the construction. Hold on. Okay, that was easy. It was this open. I left it like that. So this is what I mean. Like, that is stealing my attention. That is stealing my attention. And why I'm doing this is because I want to have access to this creative energy all the time. I don't want to be controlled or hindered by insecurity, about nervousness, about feeling like I'm not enough. You see, when I just talk about it. not feeling like I'm in my power. So I was in the corporate for many years, and I was very good at that. I didn't leave the corporate because I wasn't good at it. I left the corporate because of the environment. And in the corporate, I thought that I was not a creative person because I was a project manager. So I've been living with beliefs that life is about efforting and that I'm not creative and a lot of things. And the environment of the corporate was very unhealthy for me. So I have a lot of stress. I have a lot of, or I used to have, I had severe burnout and all different kinds of things. And as I started to, the reason why what the corporate showed me, my weaknesses, the weaknesses that the corporate showed me was that I was very good at handling stress and pressure. But when it came to a certain level of conversations, especially with men that were in higher levels of rank than me, and they had an attitude that I didn't appreciate, I had a very hard time. So I realized that, okay, me and authority, when it's masculine and they tell me what to do and things, and they are not working with me, that was a situation that I found very, very difficult to hold emotionally. So I was extremely good at my work, but when it came to standing up for myself in these situations, that's when I started to have a problem. So managing work and people in my professional role, that was not a problem. But my ability to hold myself emotionally in difficult conversations, I wasn't. I don't want to be like that. I'm not like that. And when I connect with my soul, the peace that God gave me so that I could navigate, it's the map. So the soul is like the map and the compass and the, all the things that you kind of need to realize what you're going to do here. And the other half is the body. So I know what I am not. And that is a key. So a lot of people go through things that they don't appreciate, believing that things is happening to them and that life is unfair and that, we are victims of different things. Instead, the soul will always navigate us to what we need in order to move through our resistances from being 100% the soul. So being fully divine and fully human, to me, that means I'm living in so the fully human is not about the human aspects of life. For me, it's about the body. So being fully human to me is having a body that I have full connection to. It's like I'm wearing a glove that fits. So I want a physical body that feels like it fits. One of my old teachers said one time, and this was such a funny expression, he said, life is like wearing a physical bodysuit is like wearing a shoe that is too tight. So that is someone's experience. And I was like, wow, that I resonate with that. And I felt like, I don't want to wear a shoe that's too tight. I'm not going to go through, if I look at, how old people are getting in my bloodline, they get very old. And, as I'm also repairing the body and generate more life force, I realized like, yeah, I'm going to live a long time. And I just don't want to live in a shoe that feels like it doesn't fit. I don't want that. And when I ask my soul, it says, no, you don't have to do that. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do that. So for me, it's about a feeling and an experience of life that I have been very determined to work through, because the first 40 years of my life was not to my liking. And I felt like, okay, this is not really solving itself by itself, as one might hope. I am the one who has to do something about this. So I started to really clean myself up on a very deep level. But before I could do that, I had to learn. So that's why it's been taking me a little bit of time, because the experience is a multidimensional experience. But when we start to restore the physical body to its, closer to, I don't know how close I can get with the damage that I've done the first 50 years or 40 years. I'm trying to make amends for them, but it's going well. It's going way over my experience. That's not true, because I have very high expectations, but the human skeptic is like, when you get to a certain point above the clouds, you go, oh my God, this is possible. This is possible. And what is possible is to access the creative zone of genius, because that energy is the direct map from the soul. It's direct instructions from God himself through the creative energy. And that is what I realized that I was trying to access. The unlimited creativity energy, the unlimited life force. And when I say unlimited life force, doesn't mean I'm going to live forever. No, but I have unlimited life force in this moment to access to my creativity. If it works, as it should, because we're not supposed to be in the creative zone all the time. We're supposed to live as well. So the creative zone is work. Let's that sink in. That is the work that we're here to do. We all have a gift. So my gift is the physical connection, the knowledge about energy that is just literally pouring out of me. So one of the things that we access on the path to our energetic zone of genius is the speech, the fluent speech that is unrehearsed, unstructured, and intuitive and natural. And that language is waiting inside to come out. So what I felt and experienced in the corporate was my limitations. And my body was telling me that you don't have to have these limitations. My soul was informing me clearly that we don't have to have these limitations. And as I started to do this work, I really started to get feedback straight away. So that's the beauty of the work. You get feedback very early, and then you ride on that evolutionary energy. And that energy goes in contractions and expansions. So they come in bursts. The creativity comes in bursts. And today Fridays are a day for me where I deliberately put a lot of my output so that I know that I have Saturday for input. So this whole thing with 108 days of internal alchemy is designed to expand my ability to hold pressure, to hold creativity during pressure, because stress blocks the creative process if you have stress from the past. And that creative process also goes up and down. So today I've already done my 108 days of internal alchemy. I started with that because I wanted to drop into the body to gain energy. So when I have a lot of output, I either put it in first or last. If I'm on point or what I'm striving to do is to always do that first, because that opens up my creative channel for the rest of the day. There's a sense of accomplishment. I have pressure on myself. I have deliberately put pressure on myself to deliver within my weakest zone. So the 108 days that you're watching on YouTube and following along, that is what I decide, I was going to say, but it's my evaluation of my lowest, my weakest link. So I wanted to strengthen my weakest link. And that was to feel confident riffing like this with my natural voice, not preparing, not doing anything, just knowing the topic and maybe a couple of bullets but that's only if creative energy starts to pour out of me before the live session is on, like today, because my creative was already open. So I first did the 108 days. And those who, if you don't know what that is, I'm going live on YouTube for 108 days, showing my internal alchemy practice. So I'm literally showing you my physical practice and create a journey that you can ride on and build from, where I teach you to alchemize from ground zero and up. So I did that first, and then I hosted my first Wellspring workshop for the season. So the Wellspring is mine and Simba's foundational internal alchemy core engine. So if you want to move energy in the body, you need to start doing internal alchemy, and then that is the foundation. It's a membership where we have recorded a journey of more than 80 sessions that follows a journey. It follows a progression, and it has different topics. So you can either do it in line and grow with us, or you can choose a topic and just in your own time. So that is the core of the membership, is all of those sessions. And that is the foundation of our work. So the 108 days is the showcase live, shorter sessions. Wellspring is the bigger sessions, the deeper the work. On top of that, we are also offering live session, but monthly. And every month, I'm hosting a workshop on lifestyle energetics. So I host a deeper, a longer, it's a 2.5 hours, so we can really get down to the nitty-gritty in the different aspects, and I'm making it practical. This is a huge output for me, because this is the first one that I do ever. I've never done this before. And yeah, that's basically it. But it's new for me. And when I do new things, I don't like that. So for my whole life, I've only done things that I'm good at. So that is my resistance. That is my, hand that maybe isn't as I was hoping. Being afraid of trying new things. And what does that mean? Afraid to look like a fool, afraid to look like you don't know what you're doing, afraid of being considered. I think because this triggered me a little bit when I said it. It's about, okay, interesting. It's about being viewed as invaluable for the group. Interesting. Yes, that's it. Because as long as I can remember, I haven't had access to what I truly want. And when there's no, access to who you are, and I was very insecure due to abandonment issues as a child from my father. So when the father leaves the child, the father is supposed to give confidence in who you are. So I didn't have that. So that's the thing. I didn't have the confidence in who I am. And I had access to a lot of parts of myself, but it was like the core that I didn't have access to. And then all of these symptoms started showing up, and all of that was just symptoms of me not being aligned with why I'm here on earth. So I realized during this decade that I've been studying now and practicing and trying on myself as a guinea pig, I realized that core foundation what was causing everything else. So when I heal myself emotionally and energetically, my physical starts to reverse. Bonus points in my book. And I was like, holy shit, this is working. So, hypothyroidism, eating disorders, stress. I mean, I don't even remember the things that I've been working through. I have a hard time sitting down listing the things that I've been working through. So I need my husband to reflect that back to me, because it doesn't even exist in my life anymore. That is how big of a timeline shift that you can do in life. And it all starts with accessing the creative energy, because that is the life force energy. It's the same thing. It's the same, but it's different. So here I generalize. So in general, people say that life force, sexual energy, and Kundalini energy is the same. I say it's not, because they didn't come online at the same time. So the YouTube is mirrored, and I have coordination issues. So I can't figure out how to fix my hair with this thing. It's like, that is one of the skills that I don't have. And you can watch it in real time, that I don't have the skill to coordinate what hand I'm supposed to fix my hair with. And I don't mind. I don't care anymore. It's like, if you think that I'm weird in any kind of way because I'm unable to do this, then you're welcome. That's it. We are quirky people. We are supposed to be weird and different and funny. We're supposed to be free. We're supposed to be open. We're supposed to be creative. We're supposed to try and fall and get up. But instead, we're kind of holding on to the sidelines and being afraid of life. And the soul goes, oh my God. That's not what the soul is here for. The soul is here to access that unlimited resource of creation. Because when we start to live from creation, oh, here comes Lucky. So when we start to live from creation, life starts to change. Come on. She just woke up. And she probably wants to fall asleep somewhere else. So she's like a cranky child when she's trying to find places to sleep, and then she yells. Most like us all. Okay, coming back to this. So all the work that I'm doing is to awaken my true self and this energetic zone of genius. And that is like a wellspring at the bottom of the body that kind of activates when we open up the body and start to remove the clutter that is in the way. And that clutter is false belief systems, a physical body that is way too toxic. So the body needs to be able to alchemize the stress from life quicker than so it needs to alchemize quicker than we put in. And that's usually not the case, because we consume too much of things that is not good for the body. And that means people, situations, circumstances, music, videos, movies, things that aren't aligned with what we need. And then we don't have the ability to process that in real time in order to keep up with what we are putting into the body. And that it goes across the board all of the things. That's why people who are very physically healthy on paper can be very sick because there's emotional and belief systems, and it can be generational stuff that keeps that is still ongoing in the body. So it's not only on a physical plane. So that's why I shared another episode a couple of weeks back on the social construct. Now the cat wants to go out, so now I have to open the door. Otherwise she's going to yell at me. And so these are the things that happens. It's like I get distracted, and then there's a fear from the mind that I won't be able to find my way back. And that is an illusion. That is caused by stress. And as soon as I start to come back into my zone and I just jump right into it and I just take a thread and I keep going, then the other part starts coming back. So there's an illusion because we are navigating in the social construct. And I did a session on that a couple of weeks ago. We are too deeply immersed in the social construct because our attention is completely absorbed about what's going on the other side of reality, like outside of myself. So we all know that to meditate and be in the now and all that. That is actually way more important than anyone is communicating at all. So the real information that we actually need in order to be who we truly are is not available for us in normal life. So that's why I had to kind of go underground and go to different places and start to learn for myself and start to ask questions and start to study, but from a physical level, on a bodily level, on an experience level. And as you move away from the social construct, the body starts to kind of naturally fall into place. So that is what we want to do. We are restoring ourselves back to ourselves. And that starts with the physical body. Everything starts with the physical body because we feel everything through the physical body. And in order to be able to listen to what life, God, the universe is asking us to do, is to be able to hear that when it is spoken. And that is in the now. So the information is given to us in the now. And for us to listen and to understand, there needs to be an exceptional body connection. That's where the glove comes in. So that is only to be it's you're running a machine through senses and intuition, not through joysticks and steering wheels. It's the soul that should run the show, because when it does, it will take you exactly where you're supposed to be. And that is what I've been doing the past decade, to access myself, to access the energy, to access all the things that I knew was able and available. But I didn't have any proof from it because I don't see anyone else doing it on this level. I'm not saying that other people aren't doing it. It's just we're doing all of it at the same time because we are one experience. The medical industry teaches us that you don't need certain organs and that they are not part of the bigger system. That's just simply not true. That is just not true. And the fact that you go over there to fix something and you go over there to fix something, there's a separation that is not it's not a true representation of how the body actually works. I'm not saying that the medical industry is not good. I use it for myself. So I'm not saying that. I'm saying use the right thing for the right time. That's what I'm saying. Don't use a hammer to open the refrigerator. Use your hand. You don't need anything from the outside. And that's one of the points. So my gift is that I am able to access this. So when I open up my body, something comes out. And we don't know what that is until we open up the body. So my gift is that I can teach you about these things. But you might think like, oh, wow, she's so good at it. Yeah, but I'm bad at everything else. I mean, not everything, because you're not allowed to say that in today's society. I'm not bad at everything else, but I'm bad at most stuff. Not to the point that I would stand up and, offer my expertise about it. I just don't have that. This is what I'm drawn to. This is what my creativity is driving me to. So the way to find your purpose is to find your creative energy. Because you don't have to figure out what you're supposed to do. You only need to do what you want to do when you access the creativity. So when I access my creativity, this is what comes out. Because my biggest thing is personal development. Your biggest thing might be, you create something else, but you realize that this work is what will open you up. So you might use this for your own life, but you don't have to teach it. But I do. So I can go do yoga with anyone. That doesn't mean I have to teach yoga, but I'm interested in it. I reap the benefits and I'm learning because it fits who I am. But for you to find out exactly what you are here to do, instead of trying to figure that out, you open up the body and allow the body to show you and allow God to show you in real time. Because what you want to create, because when you start to create, time just flies, things happen naturally, everything you need is there. And the way that I've been working before is that I've been trying to reach this place, but I've been interrupted all the time by different things. And that is the things that I wasn't able to alchemize before. So as I learn this, so I'm learning the skill and practicing on myself at the same time. So there's two processes with me going on. So I study and I try and implement. So because the studies, I didn't have a manual when I started. Now I'm creating the manual. So it's going to go, and the people that I work with now, it just goes so fast. It's incredible. So it's not about figuring out what I'm going to do. The mind is not what is going to help us here. It's the body. And it starts with allowing yourself to give the nurture and to activate receiving energy and to allow the body to open up and to move through the resistances that we have. Because the creative process comes with an expansion energy and a contraction energy. Just checking the time. And this energy is what brings us forward. So with all my output here on a Friday, I put 1 hour in between the end of the workshop. So I hosted a 2.5 hour workshop and I thought, okay, I'm going to give myself an hour in between because I haven't hosted these many things. And that's part of the capacity that I want to grow. So first, I opened up my body to access the creative energy, to access mostly my flow and my expression so that I don't have to prepare, that it just flows. Then I want to have that open all the time, or for longer periods of time, or that I can know my own process and learn how the creative energy is moving through me. And today, so that was the first time. So I put a cap on the workshop for 2.5 hours. So that was to 2:00. And then I start this podcast 3:00. And I felt, then I have an hour. If I'm completely drained, then I can go have a long meditation. I can go sleep. I can go for a swim. I can do whatever I want in order to open up the creative portal again. Little did I know that after the workshop, yes, I felt it, but I did not need all that time. So I was sitting here waiting because I've said that I need to go live at 3:00. So I had to wait for 3:00. And then I'm like, okay, this is not going to happen again because this is just a waste of my time. And I was in my creative. So I could have just gone, not without any pause. But what I learned is that if it's going, it's going. I'm getting to that point now. And the 108 days of Internal Alchemy is what's taking me there. And then that started to annoy me a little bit, that I have to sit here and wait for myself. I had no one to blame, nothing, which is how I'm, living my life. I take full accountability for everything that happens to me, because if I do, alchemy moves faster. It's just ego and insecurities and self-doubt that doesn't like that. And I'm not really, these three amigos is not running my life anymore. So what I noticed was that, I don't need as much pause in between. So half an hour is probably good. And then I was sitting here waiting, and then I noticed, like, I'm a little bit hungry. I'm going to go eat. That's also something I noticed, that the body is very, very clear on what type of food it wants. And as I start to give my body all of these things, I just allow the body to run the show. I let God run the show through my body. I let the creative energy run the show through my body. I realize my eating habits disappear. It's like the relationship to food is very far from what it should be. Most people. And we've been running a retreat center for 10 years where we work with detox. So the food relationship is the one thing that combines us all, that unites us all. People could come from all over the world with completely different problems, but the one thing they all had in common was the obsession about the food. And I've been obsessed about food. I've been a foodie my whole life. And honestly, my appetite is disappearing because I get so fulfilled from my creative work. And that's when the body starts to be very picky what it wants to eat. It's super clear what it wants to eat. Now I want a glass of orange juice. Now I want meat. Now I want this. Now I want that. Now I need something sweet. So my diet is becoming very clean and very clear, and not because I choose it from an idea or the mind. It's what my body wants to eat. And it doesn't discriminate, rice, or it just doesn't want pasta. It wants rice, but it wants very like black rice, and it wants Greek yogurt, and it wants berries, and it wants honey, and it wants meat, and it wants sweet potatoes, and it wants items. It doesn't want anything processed. I have absolutely no. We were at there's a place here, a local place that they've been through some challenges and had to choose location again just after a couple of months, and we went over there to because they opened takeaway and they only offer pizza. And then I was like, I want pizza. I want pizza. Today I want pizza. So I had 2 slices of pizza, and then my body doesn't want more. So we go over there yesterday to order a pizza for takeaway, and they are so sweet. They said, oh, do you want a drink? Do you want something to drink? Nothing is open. Everyone is just building, and they just open the kitchen for takeaway pizzas to keep business open. So we're in. We're going to support. And I asked him, do you want pizza? He was like, yes. Okay. And then I was like, okay, I can have a slice. I'll have a slice. And they offer us drinks, and they come with a thing with the drinks. And when I look inside, there's only sugar drinks. And I go like, okay, I'll have a sugar drink. I'll have a Sprite. So I open the Sprite. I haven't had Sprite in I don't know how many years. I taste it, and I'm like, it tastes like I remember. And the body says, I have no desire for this. So I just, I don't finish it. I drink a little bit. I bring it home. I think Simba might have finished it. But I just the body doesn't want that. It much rather want a glass of orange juice. So what I'm saying is that when you start to align the body, everything aligns. There's just no such thing available inside of me as overeating anymore. And it hasn't been available for a long time, but now it's really starting, because when we decided to move into this environment, when we really started to put ourselves, we had to change. We've been living with our clients for a decade. So, you can't do everything forever. That's not how it works. So you move through different phases. And now this phase is having our own space. And that's when our personal evolution expands, because we're putting ourselves first. That's the time now. That's when my body is starting to align even more. So just by shifting an environment and tightening my practice, activating the 108 days, my body is just skyrocketing in how it responds to what I'm doing. So if we take weight as an example, so the hypothyroidism was the first thing that I addressed, because it was the first thing I was called to do. But I think that I did that because my obsession with the body weight was just absolutely, it was making me absolutely insane. So it created a relationship with my physical body that I just had to get out of. And that has been a process. There's another episode where I share that particularly because it was the first thing that I moved through together with my body, listening and this process. That is also the process that I realized that it doesn't matter the symptom, the solution is the same. So I moved through that, and then I just kept going because I was moving through my things. And over time, what was causing the weight, and it's not fat in the way that we think. It's water, and it's connected to the fascia, and it's connected to how much we carry in life, and for me, it's how much I carry other people. Direct connection with the responsibility I take for other people's emotions, lives, whatnot. That is also in the positive things, also that what makes me good at my profession. But when the body is imbalanced, that also becomes imbalanced. And that is the key to the weight. So as you start to live in your truth, and you start to open up the body and activate the life force, and actually start to live as the body is, as the thing that is alive inside of us wants to live. That's what lights the fire in the eyes and the creative expression and the things. That's what the body responds to. And when we have challenges, things goes up and down. So it's like surfing life. It's like learning to surf. Connecting with the creative energy is like learning to surf life. And once you start to connect that creative energy, you just doesn't let it go. That was not correct English. You don't let it go. And because I'm not English, it doesn't matter what I don't need to be perfect in my English pronunciation, because it's not my first language. And I think I'm good as I am. There's this performance all the time that we're trying to keep up with. And because we don't give the body any time to alchemize, and we don't know how to do that, and we don't know that there's an imbalance. So we're not doing anything wrong. We're just doing too much of it. So there's nothing that you can't do, but you have to balance it up with the soul too. It's like we cannot just run around lifing. We have to do the living, because too much of the lifing is going to bring us to a too early death. You just look around, everyone is just falling, like people are not doing good. And I'm not laughing about that. It's just so bizarre to see how poorly people are doing. And the ones who's doing good, they're doing excellent. So that this is going to, there's not going to be as many people in the between, because people are either going to choose to do the work or not choose to do the work, because this information is just exploding over the world. So if there's any interest from the soul for this path, it will automatically attract information, people, because you are looking for it. There's, what did you say? Search and you will find. That's true, because if you search for something, the universe is going to put you in contact with it. When I was 19 years old and I was looking for trouble, do you think I found it? That was lying. When I was 15 years old and we're looking for trouble, do you think I found it? How long did you think it took me to find it? I tried to look for something that I didn't even know existed, and I found it. What is meant for you will find you if you actually pay attention and you start looking. So we are naturally attracted to what is ours. And even if there's just a very, very small portion of that functionality alive, if we start to listen to that, that will grow. And eventually that becomes the creative energy, because that signal becomes a stream. So the soul's nudge that comes as a little thing, if we listen to that and we follow when the body says, I don't want more pizza. Previously, I would have had all the pizza because I had to fill my emotional hole in my stomach. And the food gives us grounding in the nervous system. It makes us calm. So I was eating because I couldn't hold my own emotions. So can you see how it all is connected? And now, after a couple of months in this environment, when I, started to really, like energetically architect my future, this is what happens. And now my body is responding by itself. So the same diet that didn't work before now works, because everything else I'm doing is aligning. So it is about the food, but it's not about the food. It's about the food, but it's not only the food. You need to do it in combination with the other things. So it's like all of these, adventure movies that we were watching when we were kids, and you had to find the different things. And when you find all of them, it unlocks. What do you think that comes from? Those ideas. Everything in the universe is a representation of something else. Every functionality, every process that exists in the universe exists everywhere. So when you start to notice one thing somewhere, you can apply that everywhere. So once you start to realize how it works, it multiplies. It's the same energy everywhere. Life force, money, love. It all stems from the same setup. That's what I am God means. We are the same. We work the same. It doesn't mean that I am that. It just means that we are made from the same material. God is just all the souls together in this huge, super intelligence. And I'm just this little piece. But I'm still that. And because I am still that, I know all the things. I don't have the same power as that one because I'm not as big. But I have the same power in this. And when I access the body, my power amplifies because my ability to see, hear, feel, and understand increases. Now I'm looking for an English word. When something increases, okay, it increases in, now I'm overthinking it too. So let's just drop that. It goes quicker, faster, which is the same thing, but it multiplies. It multiplies in a way and amplifies in a way that is, it's the quantum. The quantum. That's when the quantum stuff happens. It just. So it's all connected. It's about understanding how it works on a physical level, not understanding how it works on the mind level. And that is the biggest, the mind. Because the mind is very limited. It's good at some things, but not lifing. It's good at calculating things and, organizing things, process things when we sleep and things like that, but not to run the show. That's when we get sick. And if you look around, you see that the mental health epidemic has, before it was like everyone had cancer and stress. Now it's mental health has kind of skyrocketed. And that is because we are disconnected from the body and you disconnect from the soul. So you're operating as a 5-year-old with, blindfolds. And you're expecting yourself to master life. And that's just never going to work. And that we see that, you just look out in the world and that is you see that it's not working. And the people who are removing, so when you connect to the body, all of it's okay. I'm generalizing. So if you're a doctor and you start to say I'm wildly generalizing to give you an aspect. But if you have mental health issues and you start to really function or focus on grounding the body and start to get a real, honest body connection, I will guarantee that your symptoms are going to change. Depending on your level of ability and willingness to work through the emotional stuff, the nervous system stuff, that's what's pushing us up in the head, because there's so much going on here, because we are unable to alchemize. We can't be in our bodies anymore because it's too uncomfortable. That's what happens. And then the only way to go is in the head. And that's when we start to try to think our way out of our problems. And then we are only digging our grave deeper. So people with mental health problems, they are the ones who's going deeper into the mind, away from the body. It's impossible to have mental health issues when you are 100% connected to the body, because you're not in the mind. You can't have mental issues if you're not in the mental. It's like I can't have problems with, I don't know why soccer is coming up. I can't have soccer issues if I don't play soccer. I have no clue why I made that connection. I blame the World Cup. 56 minutes. I've given myself an hour. So the energetic zone of genius is accessible. It's just waiting for you inside. And when you access it, you kind of get all the other information too, because the nature of what you want to create also shows where you have your gift and where you will succeed in the world, because we all have it. We all have a genius gift inside of us. It's like that's like the gift, that's the present in the present moment that we can unravel in ourselves. That's where the gift thing comes from, because we are the gift. We unravel ourselves over time, and we compound our experience, and we build from that creative energy. If you're going to build a castle, you have to start building, at the ground. The castle is just not there. That's not the type of manifestation powers we have in the physical. We have to actually build it first. So we build our lives one piece at a time from the creative energy. And that's how you're going to be navigated to exactly where you belong. You're going to attract the right people, because you're not going to want to be with the people who's not for you, because the right people are naturally attracted to that creative energy. So the creative energy is also the magnet for everything else that you want. So if you start to produce and speak and think and live from the creative energy, something is going to build. And if you keep doing that, then that builds. And what I'm here to do is to remove all the things that is in the way for me to have access to my constant creative energy. And that doesn't mean I want to create all the time, but I want it to be flowing in a way where I don't feel like I have to chase it. I don't need to create it. I don't need to, and the more I do it, the easier it flows through me. But I also put myself in positions where I get to train the thing that I know that I should do. So I know that I'm supposed to be public speaker, that I'm supposed to be able to riff for hours and hours and hours and hours without anyone helping me or bouncing anything back to me or giving me creative input. I want to be completely self-sustainable. And then the rest of the time, I just want to live my life and do good things and nice things and be my body and hang out with people I love and eat good food. I love eating good food, but I eat high quality food, and I feel like, modesty and the French has been my top of the list. And now I treat life in total. I use an expression that I'm implementing with my people, is that life, it's like you choose everything as a size of a bonbon. For some reason, I just love the word bonbons. I think it's because when I was in Italy as a child, they called it bonbons or something like that. But a bonbon for me is, you go into a store or a delicacy and that one, and that one. It's like it's small, but it's exactly what you want. And because you take that small thing, it satisfies your every need. So I used to be the one that had to buy this much candy and I had to eat it all, and then I was satisfied. And my then partner, he could eat one piece of chocolate and then he was satisfied. And I was just like, I'm not built that way. But he was much closer to his energy. He knew what he was good at. He knew he didn't have these things that I was battling with. So as I'm getting more and more in connection, I treat life as, these small things that is exactly what I want. And I can have anything that I want at any time. So I have zero restrictions regarding eating or drinking. If I want something, I have it. So I'm having chocolate mousse. I had pizza yesterday, and my body is dropping. The kilos are dropping because I'm balanced. It's not what I put in my mouth. It's the balance and the place that I come from. So there's so many things about the social construct and the information that we are provided that is not the whole picture. And we are all different. So you have to find your own way of opening up the body. The one size fits all doesn't work. It's the principles that works on everyone, but the application is different. Because if you start to what version of me are you going to follow? Are you going to follow the person who started detoxing 10 years ago and that has been on juice and fruits and raw food for at least 5 years? Or are you going to follow the person that I am today, that my base diet is now red meat and eggs and chocolate mousse? I'm eating completely different, but I was eating to where my body was, to the level that I had to detox my body. So an hour has passed. So this is what I do. This is my life. And what I do is that I help people to move through the principles. And it's easy for me to see where you are at and the level of symptoms and where you are at and the energy that you transmit to me, because my soul can now hear your soul, because it's all in the energetic field. So the communication between people who can actually see and listen becomes very transparent. So you'll be hearing me talk about this a bit as well, that everything is open and available. It's impossible to hide how we really feel in the present moment. So what I help people with is they reveal themselves to me in different ways. And basically you do that just by talking and just being yourself. And I get information, and that is my gift. I can see where you're holding yourself back. I can see what are the things that are, what are the illusions that you are living by, and what is the body actually asking for? And then combine that with the practices and the principles, and you start to open up. I was looking for someone who could mirror me. I was so certain I was looking for someone who could just look me in the eyes and just tell me, okay, this belief system, this habit, this. And then gradually, we open up. So I'm becoming the person that I was looking for, funny enough. And that's usually how it works. That what we are looking for and what we need for ourselves is also the gift that we can give to others. Because if you haven't embodied your gift, how on earth are people going to recognize that you have it? So now I'm on a roll. I'm gonna go soon. I just want to finish on a good. So I have to let the. I haven't yet. So that is something that I'm working on, to be able to control it to the minute. So I'm getting very good at filling a time space with an experience. So now this is just talking. All my other work, I'm doing real experiences with, where I work with belief systems and nervous system and processing and expression and all of this. We go through the different things. But now here is just me talking. But to create without preparation and without thinking, to match the time that I have set up for myself. So because I had a little bit of not a rough start, but I wasn't in my flow because it was too long before the meetings. So now it's a delay. So now I'm in my flow. So it's like, you see how it works. So I'm just following. So I can't follow the rule of 1 hour, but I can use it as a direction where I'm going. So maybe next season, my episodes will be on an hour sharp, because that's what I'm asking my body to meet. So what I'm good at is looking for what it is that you actually know that is actually true. Weed out the other things and keep that as a northern star. And because we have a northern star, and you are over here, I know you want to go over there. And when you start talking, I will see why you're not over there. And then I will say, maybe you do this, maybe you do that. Everything is a suggestion. You do whatever you want. I will never, ever tell people what to do, because that's no fun, because then they just get angry and it's like, you need to do what you want to do. That's on 100% you. I do you, I do me, you do you. So I will never tell you what to do. I will only give you the principles that I know work for myself and for other people. And because I am openly sharing myself, people who are for me are going to attract to me. So the more of myself I can allow myself to be, the more of the energetic zone of genius I can be, and allow the mistakes, allow the quirkiness, allow whatever it is I am to come through, because that's going to resonate with the right people. And when you find the right people who resonate with you, the work that you do multiplies. It goes so quick. So I think that I will probably, after this level, so I'm running one more mastermind. So I just finished the mastermind is going to be that's my thing for now, at least. But that's the thing. That's where the genius, it just comes out the most. So I follow that. So I'm going to do one more 4-month journey, and then I'm going to evaluate. And then the next one might look different. So I change every time. They upgrade every time. But I might have to change the setup. I am changing the setup because it's very effective. It's very effective. And I laugh and I say that is a bad thing, because it's not about going too deep. It's about going too fast. So if people have too much access to me, their nervous system and their alchemy is gonna go up, because when we are together, my body is going to show your body how it works without even speaking to each other. So if you spend time with me, I'm transmitting something to you. And the closer proximity you come with me, the faster it's going to get. Because if you sit next to me, This is how body, what is it they call it, neurogenic transmitters. I mean, I know this, but I forget it, as everyone else forgets things. Anyway, mirroring neurons. You see, when you stop thinking and you don't care about it, it just pops up. So it's all stress. The stress blocks the access to creativity big time. That is like the biggest death. Fear, creativity, no. And fear is the generating energy of all the other emotions, the negative ones. It's fear that begins everything. Where am I going with this? Okay, now it's closing. Now it's starting to close. Because now it's like I just stop. So this is how it works. It's like you speak and you allow the creativity to show you, now we're going to close, because then you stop having access to what it is that you're accessing, because the body says, now we need to rest. So now I've been working nonstop for all these hours. And because I took a little bit too long break, I came out of my thing. So I learned that now. And I'm learning. That's the whole point. Yeah, this is the closing. I'm learning. Doesn't matter. I'm just myself. If you don't like this, then don't watch it. If you like it, then watch it. It's like we can't be for everyone. And that is also part of it. It's okay to not be liked by other people. But that fear is humongous. And that is, so I'm noticing that I'm going through different topics. So we're touching on the same kind of topics in different depths in my different containers. So now we're working through the receiving inside of the wellspring. So I had a fantastic interactive workshop, very deep on receiving. And the shadow side is the lack. So every month I will do a workshop like this to cover the basic stuff. But we do it to attract the right people. But that also means that you're going to repel the wrong people. And that is a bit difficult, because when you start this, you have the people inside of your life that you're not supposed to have. So you have to go through the process of repelling them. Uncomfortable, beneficial, highly. Uncomfortable, also highly. That's the reward. When we do things out of our comfort zone, we get highly rewarded. I sit here just being myself and just releasing the need to be liked, the need to be approved, and all of these things. I know what I do is valuable. I know what I do works for the right person. Not every shoe fits everyone. I'm going to go get shoes and then you get any kind of shoe. No. You find the shoe that fits. You find the person that fits. And if you can be 100% yourself, whatever that means, then no one, otherwise they're going to, do you believe in love at first sight, or do I have to walk past you again? We miss the people that are for us because we are not connected to who we are. When we get connected to who we are and we can live that fully in expression, in personal power, in all of it, and we can be fine with removing the things in life that is not benefiting us. And that's the shadow work. That's the alchemy work, to strengthen what is mine from the inside. And that will literally push everything else out, because there's no room. And then in order to push that out, we have to acknowledge it, and we have to actually look at it. So we have to look at the things we don't want to look at. That's what I do. I look at the things that I don't want to look at. I work through them once, so I never have to work through it again. because I'm just tired of being in that loop. And that's why I'm here. And that's what I teach. And that's what I show. Easy. I am myself. And the rest comes from inside and my experience, because it's my hobby. It's been my hobby for my whole life. Now I'm done. Thank you so much for today. Thank you for listening to my rambling. I hope you enjoy it. If you find this helpful in any way, please let me know. I have one guy or one person, I don't know if it's a man or a woman, that just has posted something before, but says that my practices is really helping their spine, and they're hoping to avoid spinal surgery. This is exactly why we're doing this. The body doesn't want surgery. The body wants to heal naturally. So for that comment, that just made my whole day. That is the response that life is showing me that I'm on my right path. The results that the people have in my containers, the speed that they are able to move through things, that is a testament of the work that I'm doing. And there's nothing more rewarding. So that's when you, in a circle of life. Okay, I gotta stop now. Anyway, Mastermind begins, second round of Mastermind begins August 26. 4 months of exceptional experiences. If you are looking to work with me, this is the way. It's $111 per month, 4 months. Price will go up next round because everything's going to change after that. That's it. Thank you so much. I love you. I see you next time. And now I'm going to take weekend. Friday, it's 4:30 and I'm done. No, I have a little bit with this. Okay, I'm going to go now. Bye.